I've heard of 7-year itch.
Yeah.
But I never thought to think. And I never thought, oh, it's because at home, typically during that 7-year mark, you've got littles at home.
Yeah, you've got the littlest of the littles. You're all sleep deprived, unless you sleep train, which I highly recommend. And you're still just trying to get to live with another person, and that's still foreign to some people if you didn't live together before marriage.
And so, having little kids at home truly can kind of drive you crazy some days. And that's not like, it's not a knock on children. I love all the kids.
Same.
But I was just saying to Miranda, you guys, hello, welcome to the podcast.
We've already been talking for an hour and a half, but none of that could be put on the microphone.
No, it could not. But we're here talking about marriage.
Yeah.
And I was just saying to Miranda that not everybody's like a little kid kind of parent. And I think I'm comfortable saying.
Yeah, you've said it before.
That the older my kids get, the more easily I'm connecting with them, and we can like make the jokes and have the ha-has and the silly, and I'm starting to see their personality form. That is when I'm feeling, I'm starting to feel more and more close to my kids.
I'm in every stage.
You're in every stage.
Every stage. I love newborn. Yes. I love one.
And I do love like the little babies and everything, but I don't think I'm the adult that can get on the floor and be like, let's play pretend. And like, no.
Oh, I can't do that either. I don't like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of us don't like that. And I think we need to be able to say this out loud.
Yeah.
Everyone, it's okay if you don't like playing pretend.
I'm not imaginary play.
Yeah.
I don't like imaginary play. No, I wanted to encourage that in my children.
Of course.
And Joshua is much better at imaginary play.
Yes, well, he does the morning festival.
Yes, he does morning festivals. So with Lachlan, you're right.
Yeah.
But he'll do that. He'll get down and
Same for Matt.
He'll hold a little toy and pretend. Yes. And that just was not me at all. But I loved like crafting, board games, card games, things with
fun with a purpose.
Yes, fun with a purpose.
Do y'all know the tagline, what that's from?
Yes, what's that from?
Highlights Magazine.
Highlights Magazine, which we've talked about. You still had the...
I love Highlights. Fun with a purpose.
Subscription.
Yes, Goofus and Gallant. I still love it all. I love it all.
Goofus and Gallant, that's us.
That's
Goofus and Gallant. I don't know, depending on the day.
I feel like we're Goofus and Goofus.
Yeah. I just imagine like you on a horse gallant.
Gallanting.
Right? It's called gallanting, right?
Galloping?
Oh. What's gallant?
Well, gallant means like you're like a, how do I phrase that? If you're gallant, you're like a good person.
Oh. Is that in the Bible? Is that from the Bible?
Isn't gallant like
Look it up. Why are we struggling with this so much? People are like, you have a phone.
Like almost like if you're like the king of a kingdom and you take good care of people and like you do the right thing, you're like a gallant person.
Okay. It did feel royal.
Yes. Okay. Gallant definition.
Okay.
Brave, heroic.
There it is.
Giving special attention and respect to women.
Oh, well, we love that.
Chivalrous.
We want all the men to be gallant.
We do. We only want gallant men.
Only want gallant men. Yes, that's the tagline. So I want Highlights to change it. Goofus and Gallant, where we want the men. How we want the men.
Highlights Magazine. We only want gallant men.
Yep. So put that on there. That'll go over real well in 2024, I'm sure. Oh, good.
I don't know. I feel like masculinity is on its way back.
It's on the come up.
I think it's on the come up because we've had a lot less of it in the past, 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
15.
Keep going. No, I do think it's been kind of terrible in the last decade.
Yeah. And so now we as women are craving, wanting masculinity, whether y'all want to admit that or not. I'll say it on the mic. Yeah. I don't care. We're trying to go viral.
I do too.
You want it too.
I want masculinity. I like it.
Speaking of, y'all, I'm reading, finally, ACOTAR.
Yeah. Bam, 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 bam.
Whoa. Okay. A Court of Thorns and Roses.
That's what it stands for. If anyone out there has been like, gosh, I see people typing the word ACOTAR.
Yeah.
ACOTAR. Okay, ACOTAR.
It's not Avatar.
No, not to be confused with, but that is fantasy.
It's fantasy.
Is it sexual?
It's giving a little sexual fantasy, I think.
I've never seen Avatar. I've only ridden the rides.
Well,
and I do
you
love
gotta
them.
see the movie if you.
I don't know. I feel like I got a pretty good grasp on it in my 4.5 Flight of Passage.
That ride
is the best.
Is truly one of the best things I've ever done in my life.
It is. I agree. And I think, I don't know if I told the story on here, but the first time we were to go on it, this is, again, Flight of Passage in Animal Kingdom, y'all, in Pandora World.
Yeah.
But so, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, Jamie and Denny, huge Disney people. They love us to go with them. And the first time that we were about to ride that ride, they had hyped it up so much. Like, this is the best ride. You're going to love it so much. Oh my gosh, you can't even explain it. You just have to do it, blah, blah, blah. And so we, as a family, Joshua, the girls, and I all decided that we were going to play a practical joke on them and that we were going to do the ride and immediately afterwards be like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. Like, I did not like that at all.
No!
Okay, so this was our plan. So the Millers are so excited because we love to play a joke.
Y'all do.
We love a prank. So we had this whole plan going in. Oh, yeah, we're going to get them. Can't wait to see their faces. I'm going to try to sneak record it, the whole thing, okay? We ride the ride, and we get off of it, and they look at us, and I'm like, I don't get, oh my God, it was so amazing. Like,
I knew.
None of us could do it.
You couldn't because it's that good of a ride. You can't even fake it.
You were transfixed. Like we were under a spell.
Yes, you're under a spell.
You're under a spell.
I would say, I think one of the coolest parts is the thing that you're sitting on.
Yes.
You're like riding on your creature, right?
Yeah.
You're sitting on it and they made it so that, your legs are straddling around the creature and it's breathing.
Yeah.
So it's that apparatus that you're sitting on is in and out like this.
It feels
breathing.
Like what's that thing called that you're on? I can't believe my brain will eventually come up with it.
Yeah.
But it's a breathing organism, so that flies, and so it's mocking that, and you're tilting and you're rocking and you're going, and it is so cool. Now a lot of people cannot ride it because the 3D of it all makes them feel very sick.
I mean, I can understand. It's so realistic that if you're someone that gets seasick or car sick, I would think you're going to get sick on this.
Like it can feel like, oh my gosh, I have no clue where I am in my body.
I mean, when those little white puffs come.
Yes.
Oh, the white puff part. I loved.
So
I remember just reaching out being like, are they really in front of us? Like trying to feel them.
Because you also have on glasses. So everything is coming right at you. You are riding the thing. You're kind of in like a motorcycle position is what it feels like.
It is like a motorcycle.
But here's what I will say. If you really want to try it, but you're worried like, oh, will I feel sick? The trick is look left and right and you will see all the rows of people.
Yeah.
You will see the theater in a sense. You can kind of start to grasp like, okay, this is just one big giant screen.
It's just a screen.
It's just a screen. And we aren't actually moving. Like you
think you are.
You think you are, but like just look down, look left and look right, and you'll see everybody on theirs and you'll see how little they're actually moving.
Yeah.
And it will help you, it'll help like ground your brain as to like, okay, I'm Gucci good.
Yes. Don't you love looking over? Like I have it burned in my brain looking over at Tristan next to me.
And seeing his face.
Writing this.
Yes.
And just seeing his face. Those are like snapshot memories for me. Just watching my kids delight in something.
The awe. And this is what I was talking about Disney even a couple episodes ago is, yes, I know it's hot and it's expensive and it's this and it's that and it's a lot of planning. But when you're there, forget about all that.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
Yes.
Lean in.
Yes.
Okay. You've already done it. Just lean in.
That's very good advice.
At this point, now just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay. And you will start to see these moments and these memories in your kids' faces and their childhood coming alive and parts of you that you didn't realize needed to come alive. Right.
Oh my gosh.
And you can't help. I mean, I cried the entire time. I know that shocks no one. I really do just weep and weep and weep because I'm thinking we will remember this forever. When we die, these are the things we will look back on.
And actually, I have a funny story from us getting on that ride. We had a fast forward, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever they call it now. I don't know.
Magic lane.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Genie Plus.
We had that, but we knew.
Lightning lane, technically.
This was years ago when, Tristan was shorter and we knew that we had
cutting it close
centimeters, but we knew about this ride and we really wanted to be able to get on it. And I remember running through like lightning lane stuff. We were trying to get there. they measured him as we went in, and we were like, bud,
stand up tall.
And we hadn't padded his shoes, but we had bought him really thick sneakers.
He's like, gosh, my feet hurt really bad. Yes. You're like, yeah, it's those new lifts we got you. You're fine.
It's your high heels. It's my 5-year-old son.
Manly men.
It's high heels. So gallant.
Yeah. Kings do wear heels.
They do.
I mean, back in the day, especially.
If you've ever watched Versailles, those men loved their heels.
Sure did.
My God.
Brock wore heels in the after show.
In the after show, Brock is wearing.
Y'all know.
Thighs are out. He has on a lace top with a vest and heels. What is he doing?
I don't know. He's not the most masculine one. But then if you do follow him on Instagram, which I don't, but they pop up, he knows how to do everything. He can build anything. He can build and put in concrete and fencing and everything. He is very handy.
And he needs to be leaning into.
Yeah, he's very handy. And he wears the Carhartt overalls, and then little Summer Moon has them too, and he always does it with her. So
that's really cute.
Oh my God, her little work boots and his work boots, and then he puts on his overalls and she puts on her overalls. I'm gonna say this, you guys, Brock on Instagram looks like a fantastic dad. Even on the show he does too, but I'm just saying to Summer Moon.
Yes.
Not to those other two.
Not to the other two across the ocean.
Yeah. But to Summer Moon, he really does.
He is a good dad.
And he does look like a manly man on Instagram. And then we see him in the after show and we're like, what are the heels?
What's with the lace top and heels?
Okay, so anyway, back to Tristan's lifts.
So we're running. So Tristan's in his lifts, running. Because they've got the long hallways for people waiting. People wait 3 hours for this ride. So we're running through, and we're like, we made it. And then one more guy stops us.
Yes, you got to get to the next checkpoint.
To check Tristan again. And my stomach dropped. I was just like, please. Because this guy was more serious.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Tristan, I've never needed you to stand up straighter than this moment. And I'm telling y'all, he was on the line. But he's got thick hair, and I think that helped.
It does help.
And
he's got a lot of hair.
A lot of hair. A bright blonde mullet.
Yes.
And so the guy let him go through, and I just was so thankful because I have that memory now of looking over at him on this ride, flying through the air on his creature, just awestruck.
It's amazing. It really is the best.
And so now I'm reading ACOTAR to chase that thrill again.
Okay, got it. So ACOTAR stands for A Court of Thorns and Roses. Court of Thorns and Roses.
Yes, and it's a whole series.
Sarah Moss, is that who that
sounds right?
Moss, I think, is the last name. Don't quote me on the first.
Yeah.
Look it up.
I think it's Sarah. Is it Moss?
I don't know.
Moss Grande?
Ooh.
Live Moss.
Live Moss. So this is it. So you're living Moss. But I have the book as well. I bought it forever ago, and I have not. I opened it to the first page and was like, wait, there's a map of lands?
Sarah Moss.
Oh, go me.
Wow, look at you.
MAAS?
MAAS.
Wow.
Wait, isn't this the one you downloaded on the Kindle?
No, that was All the Shades of Grey.
Oh!
50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey. I didn't accidentally. I downloaded it on my old Kindle and then handed it to Bella like a good parent does and says, oh yeah, you want to read on the Kindle, your books are on there, and forgetting that my 50 Shades were also on there. And so she opened up one of them and she said, I read the first page and I realized I should not read any more.
I love that story so much. But you and I have giggled a lot about the way that the romantic scenes are written in 50 Shades.
Oh, yeah. It's so dumb.
It's so weird. Like it's
weird.
I know we were all into it, but like now looking back, I'm like, it's a little cringe.
No, it was so cringe. And I even knew that reading it, I was like, oh, the redundancy. Like I couldn't.
The redundancy of the jeans.
The jeans and then the putting on the condom and then the pulsing and then the what did she had to call her V?
The sex.
The sex. And like there were just so many code words. And I'm like, just call it whatever. What are we doing?
It was code words because I think so there's different levels of erotica books. And if you want to remain in like a lower level where Barnes & Noble can still put your book on display.
On that first table when you walk in.
On the first table, you've got to have the code words. And so I'm wondering, I'm about halfway through ACOTAR and I haven't quite reached a scene yet, ladies. Am I right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering.
I got to read half this book to get
Yes. Now, there's been a lead up and I'm very excited to get there.
Okay.
But I am wondering, are we going to have more of the same kind of code words that we've got in 50 Shades? Because they're displaying ACOTAR everywhere. It's everywhere.
It is everywhere. And there's multiple books in this series.
Yes.
A lot. And that's, I think, what I'm being gun shy about is that I know that the commitment is coming.
I know.
And do I have it?
Maybe this is our summer commitment.
The commitment is coming.
The commitment is coming.
See what I did there? That's the title. You choose how to spell it. You choose. Either way. I support you either way.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I do need to read this. Because what I'm thinking is maybe Kristin and I could review those books on our Patreon or something like that. We could, I don't know if that's tier, well, I would probably have to be tier 2 if we really want to talk about what we want to talk about.
Yeah, if we want to say the things, it might have to be tier 2. By the way, I have a tier 2 story.
You do?
That is going to be coming out that I was reminded of over this past week. And we went to dinner with Josh and Aaron on Saturday.
Okay.
And it's a story that has to do with Carolina where they both went.
Okay.
And Matt remembered me telling him this years ago. And I was like, oh my gosh. So you guys, if you want to hear this story that's truly shocking.
Truly.
Then you
do I know it?
I don't think you do. Then you have to be subscribed to Patreon tier 2. And we've had some more people bump up.
I know. Dana. Yep. She said, let me upgrade you.
Yes. And I was waiting. I was like, surely Dana's going to want to be on tier 2.
She's our archivist.
Yes.
She has to be there because she has to know what all we've talked about. I mean, really, we should be paying her at this point.
We ask her every week to research something.
Every single week. We had to ask her about the lime juice this last week. And I will show you the screen recording she sent me.
Yeah, I got to see this.
About how she is able to find things so quickly, but she still has to be able to know about which episode it is.
Correct.
And then she quickly does this like word search thing that she knew how to. It was crazy. Anyway, it's going to change our lives.
Okay, good.
Because when we are struggling, like this last week on Instagram, by the way, if you're not following us on all that to say _podcast, please do, because the Latvians have found us again and are screwing up our engagement.
Yes.
And we need our regular people over there. But anyway, we have both linked on Instagram an old episode this week.
Yes, we both did.
We've had to do that.
Yeah.
And it is so hard to remember.
Also because the titles I give it, the titles
don't help.
Are not
No, they're catchy and they're funny, and they get me to want to listen.
Oh, yeah, but they don't remind us of what the heck we talked about.
No, because we ended up Lime Juice Pine Straw was in Maintenance Man number 2.
Which is shocking to me.
I could have sworn on my life, if you asked me about that episode, I thought it was titled Lime Juice Pine Straw.
I thought it was too. That's what I was looking for. And I said it was after Greenbrier because that's when the spray tan had leaked and you thought, have I had another incident?
Have I had another acid burning my skin incident? And I didn't remember squirting lime juice on my vagina, but I didn't know. You can never tell what she's doing in the night to me. I don't know.
It was in the shape of whales.
But honestly, it was. But honestly, I wasn't sleeping anyway, so I would have known. I would have known.
You were so tired.
But it was fine. But Dana showed us a way.
Okay.
She showed us a way. It is
and
going to help
maybe this
us.
Is something we can share with the PodcATTS if it's helpful for y'all to find things that you're looking for on your phone.
Yeah, but it's I don't know how it all works, and I just know that she was able to say, I think it's around these episodes, went into it, hit a button, a search thing. She typed in lime juice. Sure enough, here comes up the 5 sentences for us that specifically say, and then the lime juice from making this dip. This dip!
Here it is, the dip.
I brought in.
We dip. I put my hand up
on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip, and you dip mine, and I dip you. And it dip, low to the ground. I don't know the words. Okay, also you would be so disappointed. Trivia last night, they asked us the titles and who sang the song, but he would only give us a line from the song and he only spoke it.
And did you not do good?
I missed 2. I know, I missed 2, but you'll be so disappointed which one. The actual.
Tell me the line. See if you can remember it, and then I'll see if I know it.
She got them apple bottom jeans, the boots with the fur.
Okay. It's called Low.
It is called Low by whom?
Somebody. Low by. It's not Nelly.
Well, by the way, I wrote Get Low. I thought it was either Got Low or Get Low.
I know it's low.
It is just low, so I got a X because I included get.
Who sings that? Who is it?
Flo Rida.
Flo Rida! I feel like I would have gotten there. But how much time do they give you to answer these?
I mean, you're writing them down so you can come back to them, but they've moved on to the next one, and then you're trying to figure that out. So I missed that one,
what else?
and I put Timbaland.
Oh,
That's
a good guess.
I knew it was somewhere in there.
That's a good guess, I feel
okay. Then, and I knew it wasn't Cisco, and I knew it wasn't like, there were just
Nelly.
Yeah, there were those guys who were all together at the same time, but I did not come up with Flo Rida. Also, a brilliant way of saying Florida.
Flo Rida.
I will never get over it.
Me neither.
I love it.
And how has no one else done this with another state?
It's clever and I like it. Okay. So then the next one that I did not get was, oh man, I don't know if I'm even going to be able to get to the actual line. Okay. You thought that I'd be dead without you, but I'm still here.
Ooh. Hang on.
You thought that I'd be dead without you, but I'm still here. And he was reading them in such a monotone way, I mean, so you couldn't even get the cadence. And I almost gave away too much the first time I said it.
This is actually troubling to me because I pride myself on knowing all the songs, but to hear you just say it and to not have the music, I'm much better when they play like a 1 second clip of a song. I know it.
You'd be good on Name That Tune.
Yes, I would absolutely.
You bet. Remember that game show? And then you would bet like, I bet I could name it in 6.
Yeah.
And then 4. And then 3. And then they'd be like, boop, boop. And the person would be like, da-da-da, Michael Jackson Thriller. It's like, okay. See, Lily is amazing at this.
Yes.
You are incredible at this. But
the
to hear
spoken word. Say it again.
You thought that I'd be dead without you, but I'm still here.
Hang on.
I know.
Hang on. I know it.
Yeah. People, if you're screaming right now.
Hang on.
So what also is hard is so he gives you the line and then he starts to play a song over the loudspeakers.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So then you're like plugging your ears trying to get to it because you're like, okay, I know that line. How do I know that line?
Is it a Beyonce song? It is.
You're close.
Okay.
No, not just Beyonce.
Oh, it's not Beyonce.
It's
Beyonce and somebody. Beyonce and...
What group was she in?
Oh, Destiny's Child.
And now what's the song?
Survivor?
Yes!
Let's get ready to rumble!
Are you impressed?
You thought that I'd be dead without you, but I'm still here. Remember, you thought that I'd be broke without you, but I'm richer. You thought that I'd be without you, but I'm stronger. Yeah,
that's on my divorce
I'm a
playlist.
survivor. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work harder. I could not. I knew every line. I just clucked. I clucked.
That's what they do in the bush down in Australia.
I saw these bones in my mouth. So I knew I could come up with you thought that I'd be da, 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 da. Now I'm
It is tough.
But I
just
could not
hearing it.
get to I'm a survivor. I could not get to the next line. I knew it was Destiny's Child. I wrote Independent Woman, but I knew that wasn't.
Oh, okay. PodcATTS, we're going to be putting this on the gram, and I want to know how many of you were screaming at the stereo.
Yes.
The stereo. Wow. Welcome to the 1980s.
She turned 40 and is now using the word stereo again.
And VHS.
Yes. 8-track tape. Tell us about your Destiny's Child 8-track tape. That one, and then so he was giving a point for each the song and the artist. So some I was getting, I was like, getting. Okay, yeah, I got Destiny's Child, but I got the song wrong. Then the other one was you change your mind like a girl changes clothes.
Yeah, that's Katy Perry.
Which song?
Like a girl. You're hot and you're cold, they're nothing on a hand, you're out the up and down. What's the name of the song?
You've already said it.
What is the name of that song?
Hot
and cold?
Hot in cold.
Ooh, I don't know if I knew the name of that.
I know, but you said it. You're hot and you're cold.
Wow.
But see, I knew the line. I was just like, okay, and I know she whined it. I know it's a girl.
Yes.
Like, you change your mind like a girl changes clothes. Like, I got that.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Who
I
is
just
it?
could not get the next line, and I couldn't get to hot and cold.
Oh, I don't think I knew that was called hot and cold.
Yeah.
I should be better.
Hot in cold, which is a pet peeve. Some of y'all don't know this about me, but I do not like that.
What about hot and ready, though? You like the hot and ready?
Okay, the N. It's the N for me that I don't like because people do it to my Miranda and Charlotte.
Oh.
They think it's just an N. Like Miranda and Charlotte. Like that. The N stands for and.
Yes.
And it's like, no, Miranda's in Charlotte. It's the preposition.
Literally in Charlotte.
In it. Like, I live here, you freaking idiot.
But when people say hot and ready, the N is an and.
It's an and. So, like, that's fine. N can stand for that. But I'll give people my email address, Miranda and Charlotte. They're like, just an N? I'm like,
I-N.
I-N. And then so I spell it out. I go Miranda, like the rights, I-N, Charlotte. And I this is my own problem. I should have never done such a long email address.
Yeah.
It should have just been Miranda at mic.com or something. I don't know.
Yes.
But
you should have bought a domain and had your own personal email. That's where you went wrong.
God, I hate myself. I hate myself.
Okay, I have a trivia kind of related story, and it has haunted me.
Ooh.
I literally thought about this 3 days ago.
Haunted Mansion Ashes.
Haunted Mansion Ashes on the ride.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, it's very similar to this. So we were at a charity event that Clint and Ashley go to every year.
Clint Richard Beaver.
Clint Richard Beaver and Ashley Beaver.
The amount of people who DM'd us. I know, y'all. I know. That's why we giggled, and I love that they laugh about it. They're fine with it, right?
I mean, I had given Ashley a heads up before it even came out.
Oh, you did?
Because I was with her that weekend. And
Oh,
I
okay.
was like, just so you know, this is coming out.
Was she okay with it?
She was. She was like, as long as it's not like me saying it, I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's just, she's the one who, when I said, Clint Beaver, huh, Ashley? As her date, she was like, and the middle name's Richard. I was like, oh my God. So you can't give me information like that and not expect me to just whoop and boom.
And put it on your public podcast.
Thank you. Some of the stuff that we say here, you guys, it's just for consumption and it's just to laugh at.
It's just for giggles.
It's just for giggles. We're not like as serious about things as maybe we're portraying about them. It's just to giggle.
It's just to laugh. It's just like Paige giving her list of icks.
Yes.
Okay, so
you're watching the after show.
I'm watching
then,
the
right?
after show. Okay, so if you watch Summer House on Bravo, they do an after show. And
Yeah.
so they asked Paige and Sierra, what are your icks in men? Like, what are things that men do that are just such a turn off? And Paige gave like a list of 20 things. But people don't get her humor. They don't get that she's like actually just being cheeky about it. But she's saying, like, if a guy puts up an Instagram story and tags the location, that's an ick for me.
Ick. Gross.
She said if a guy gets
She's like, just kill him.
if a guy gets too excited about something, that's an ick.
Oh my God, he laughed so hard. No, that's icky.
If a guy uses an umbrella.
Yes,
That's
she
an
said
ick.
in New York, if a guy uses an umbrella, she's like, just get wet. Like, what kind of man are you? Like, that's funny, obviously.
Yes.
If y'all think her page is crazy, or if you think Paige's list is crazy,
Yeah.
Gabby's is on another level.
Like Gabby's, I think, is real.
Hundreds.
Gabby's is like a real list of her
That's why
icks.
she's like, I'm single because all of these are real icks to me. And there's so many.
Oh
But yeah,
my gosh.
we're just trying to be funny. We're just trying to giggle. Josh, our banker, doesn't actually, control what we spend our money on. And if
No.
we bought the thing to Mexico, he would have been like, have the best time, ladies.
Correct.
He does not care.
Anything we say, don't
Yes.
take any of it seriously because we are Goofus-n-Goofus. That's it. That's what this podcast is.
Not Goofus and Gallant.
I literally want a new neon sign right here that says Goofus and Goofus.
Do you want in or and? That's a Sophie's choice. I don't know.
Goofus and Goofus. It's an N for me, period. I don't even have to think about it.
Maybe it's just an ampersand.
It's
maybe
an ampersand.
Maybe you solve it with that because it's one thing, but it stands for and.
But it's not a dash in dash.
No, it's not.
I'll be the decider of that.
It's so stupid.
It's so dumb. Okay, so I'm Goofus, and I'm at this charity event.
It's so stupid.
It's so dumb.
It's so stupid. I don't know why it's so funny. It's just the dumbest. It's the dumbest. Okay, I'm gonna get it together. Okay. I'm just looking at the neon sign, imagining it's Goofus dash and Goof.
I might be purchasing that. Just know.
Okay, it's so dumb.
Okay. So I'm at this event, and as I said, Haunted Mansion, this will haunt me forever, and I still am thinking about it to this day. This was 2 years ago.
Wow.
Okay, so we're doing the trivia. Our group is on fire.
Yes.
We are at the tippy top of like top 2, top 3 teams. Like we are banging out answers left and right.
This is at a CFF event?
It's Project, what's it called? Project
658.
658. You know it.
Yes.
She knows all the things.
I do.
So it's a fundraiser for that. They always do such a great job. And it's like you always come in costume. There's a theme, all of it. And so we're going through. And so they had a little name that tune moment.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, it was 1 second.
And you got it.
They wanted to make it hard. Just 1 second. I immediately knew the song. So did Clint.
Okay.
Clint Richard Beaver knew it too.
Okay, good.
And we're looking at each other and we're going, we know the song. I could sing every lyric to the song. But why on God's green earth can I not figure out the title? I know the artist, so I'm going to give you a little ditty.
Okay.
Now here you go again, you say.
It's Stevie Nicks.
Okay. So it's
You want your free... Yeah, with Fleetwood Mac.
What's the name of that song?
Freedom.
Thunder only happens when it's raining.
Something tells me that it wasn't even in the song. So it's not Landslide.
No.
It's not that one.
It's not.
But we were recently asked about this song somewhere.
You were?
Uh-huh. Is it their number? I think it might be their number one.
I believe it is their
It's
number
their
one.
number one song.
Which is
Memories? Like, is it one word? Oasis. Is it one word?
It's one word. Gosh, I
one
feel like
word.
you're right on the cusp.
It's not Memories.
But
it's not Emotions. It's
oh, you're so close.
I know I am. Oh man. Okay, Memories, Emotions. It's oh my God, tell me. I can't get it.
Dreams.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and so this is how I felt. This is how I felt. I'm looking around all these other tables. They're scribbling it down. And I felt like the biggest goofus you have ever seen in your life. Because I'm like, this is what I'm bringing to the table. I'm not bringing much, but I do know music very well.
Yes.
I know the song. I can sing the song. I know it all. I know the best hits album, blah, blah, blah. So it's called Dreams, just so y'all know, by Fleetwood Mac.
Is the word even in there?
They say Dreams one time.
One time.
One time they say Dreams.
Yeah, I think it's their number one selling song or whatever.
Let me say this. When I listened to Fleetwood Mac, and I was the other day driving back from the field trip, I was listening to it, and I specifically, with every song that came up, I would commit
the title
to my memory. I don't know, just in case another trivia happens, and I find myself in this position again.
You might.
But you know what? Much like our podcast, they have kind of weird titles for things.
Yes.
Things that don't even necessarily are said in the song.
Yes.
And so Rihanna and Gold Dust Woman and all of these songs, I'm like, okay, I see you, Fleetwood Mac. You're trying to trip us up a little bit. But you're not going to catch me with my pants down again.
Nay.
Maybe while I read ACOTAR, not when I'm at trivia. Know that. My pants will be on, and I will know the songs. I will.
I'm glad that your pants will be on in a bar. Project 658 is a Christian organization, so I'm really glad that they were on that night.
With children.
So Landslide is in their song.
Yes, it is.
So they will have some, but yes, I knew it was one word and ended in an S.
You were so close. Memories, dreams, I feel like that goes together.
Emotions.
It's
all in there. Yeah, it's dreams. But we were recently asked what's the number one or what's the best-selling album of Fleetwood Mac or something like that. And we got it wrong then, too. I think I said Landslide to that.
Why is there so much Fleetwood Mac trivia? This makes me feel like before we go on The Amazing Race, we need to brush up on Fleetwood Mac.
I agree. And the update on that, you guys, on Amazing Race is this.
Oh, yeah.
They finished casting for this current season at the end of March. They let everybody know by the end of March if they had made it or not.
That's right.
made it or not, and made or not. Made or D. So they let them know. And even if we had tried to apply and sneak in as like a last minute thing, it films this June. So we already have so much for this June.
There's
Bella
no
graduates
Your mouth bones.
These bones. Not the name of the song. So we have Bella's graduation and we have Costa Rica. So we already had these things that could not, like, there was no shifting around it.
No.
There was no shifting around it. So it's perfect. Now we know that we can start applying. So they are always accepting applications.
Yes.
Always accepting applications. I did read that. And so we can submit our tape and do all of our silly things anytime. And I think ultimately we should probably wait a little bit. I don't want to do it right now.
I agree.
I think that it's too long.
It's too long of a wait that they're going to have so many more people. We need to come in when they think they've almost cast it all.
Like February.
Then we swoop in and they're like, we got to have these girls.
We got to have these girls.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking January, February is when we really hit it.
Yeah.
And they think that they've got a good group, and then here we come.
That's it. That's
and
it.
we just bounce 2 people out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry. And then we don't have that much long to also anticipate it.
That's it. I don't want to have to think about it too much.
No, we don't
I want to
wanna
get
do that.
the green light. And
you already know we don't think to think.
We don't think to think, and I don't want to feel like I'm going to overthink.
Yeah, I agree.
We will study
or overpack.
Fleetwood Mac. And I'm not going to overpack. I'm going to get that same stupid backpack that you carry, your laptop bag that you carry all your worldly goods in.
Yep.
And
well, I only need 4 toiletries, so that really helps.
I'm going to need
your skincare. Kristin, you are going to have to sacrifice so much. Where are you going to put all this stuff? Where are you going to put your 28 steps? Where are you going to put all your pills and supplements and everything? Maybe that's why some people struggle on The Amazing Race.
Oh, because they don't have all their things.
They don't have all their things. I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to be carrying us, literally.
You will be.
Because
I won't have my pills.
You're not going to have your pills. What are you going to do?
So
you need to start weaning off now, I think. Speaking of,
we need to talk about that. This is an opportunity for a skincare company to come along and sponsor us and say, here, Kristin, here's an all-in-one daytime and nighttime combined
I think
thing.
that people already have that, but you refuse to believe it.
I do refuse. I do refuse. Maybe I'll make my own. Maybe this is my new business.
That's what you need.
That's what I need.
You need another new business. You need another business in general as we prepare for The Amazing Race.
Okay, you want to show them?
No time like launching a new business and then escaping the country and having no cell phone.
The notoriety alone will bring
You're right.
eyeballs to my brand.
You need to have the wheels in motion so that when we have all that notoriety afterwards, we are able to hit it and give the people what they want. You're right. Get those wheels in motion.
Yes.
Yes. So what I brought people, because I was misinformed last time we did a semaglutide update.
Yes.
I thought that I was already on my lowest dose.
Yes.
So essentially, like, right, you start, you go up in dosage, you come down. If you're with a reputable company, you are coming down kind of as long as you're going up and with those same increments.
Yeah.
So I thought, I could have sworn I started at like 0.25 or whatever.
Yeah.
So when I was on the 0.25, I thought, this vial's done, I'm done.
Is it. Yeah.
This is it. And so I had kind of told y'all I'm on my last one. However, I guess I did start, my bad, I just don't remember. I did start on 0.1
Yes.
and then went up. So I am now on 0.1. I am on my last 4 shots, like last 4 and then done.
This is it. So she brought one in to show what 0.1 looks like.
I wanted to show you because
I was like, what is this?
I think that people have this misconception that, like,
look at it.
This medication is like you're just shooting yourself up with a ton of things and that's what's making all the difference.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, so this is 0.1. Let me take this
take
off.
that off so people can see. The pink is what is the medicine. If you're
And
watching
then there's
on
still
YouTube.
black. Hold on.
Yeah. So look at the pink, y'all. You see that? It looks like what I have to dose my bunnies when they are taking an antibiotic.
It is the length of one of the white parts of my nail.
Yes.
If that helps the audio listeners. So this is kind of all that's left. And then I know people are kind of like, well, then what kind of difference does that make?
Look at this tiny needle.
Oh, it's teeny tiny.
Oh my gosh. It looks like a thread.
That's why it doesn't hurt.
Look how small that is.
But imagine how that needle still goes in the thing. There's still a hole in there that is extracting liquid from the vial because you think, how?
Oh, yeah. I can see just the very end.
Teeny tiny.
Wow.
So it doesn't hurt at all for me. But pain's not a big problem for me.
No, it's not.
But yeah, so this is the tiniest little amount. I have 4 more of these left, and so just to put it in perspective, I know some people who
are almost full.
Take almost a full syringe of this same exact medication.
I
never even got up to that. I mean,
feeling sick. I mean, I just think about how sick you felt on like the 3 or 4.
I know. Well, I don't know how they're doing it. Some people just really don't have side effects. Good for them. I mean, I'm happy for them. But yeah, so the highest I ever even got to was, I'll show you, was here on this syringe.
But think about even just that tiny amount to the 4 still made you feel so crappy.
Yeah, so I had to come down. So I tried to go up to 0.48, I want to say it was. And then I very quickly went right back down to 0.34, then 0.2. Yeah. And so now I'm on
once a week. It was a once a week injection.
And now I'm on my very last 4 of these. Very last 4 of them. So I will be done before we even go to Costa.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about, bringing anything, which is nice.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm excited about
it. And to be transparent, I said, y'all know, Miranda looks great. She looks perfect in my eyes. Perfect.
Look at these.
Oh my gosh, look at it.
Look at these muscles, y'all.
The muscles are there. It's legit.
I'm getting muscles.
I said I wanted you to be a bodybuilder.
I won't.
But
now that you've seen what you saw today.
I just said you're perfect in my eyes, by the way.
But I could not be a bodybuilder.
I'm just saying, all I care about is that she is healthy. And I said, I do feel like at this point, you need to be eating enough calories that you're not in a deficit, right?
I specifically asked you to bring tortilla chips
today.
I brought food. I actually ate before I came. Then I brought food and said, can you bring Tostitos? Because guess why I don't have any? I already ate them all.
I know, and I had lime ones.
And she had lime ones. And so she said, yes, I will. So I was planning on eating this.
We're going to eat it with a spoon.
The whole time we were here, and she forgot the chips.
Do people call that cowboy caviar?
They better not.
Because I don't think that's cowboy caviar.
It's absolutely not. And actually, if you go to my recipe, that's on my blog for this amazing corn and black bean dip.
Because this is salty to me.
I say, don't you dare.
No.
In the first paragraph, don't you dare call this cowboy caviar. And let me tell you why it's not, Kristin. And thank you for bringing this up.
Yes, you're welcome.
Because it's very important.
Okay.
That cowboy caviar is made with black-eyed peas.
Yes, it is.
These are black beans.
Black beans.
Okay, number 1. Number 2, cowboy caviar has sugar in it.
It's sweet.
Ugh.
It's sweet.
I don't like it.
I've had it.
I
actually think we were somewhere recently where they bring it out to the table before your meal.
Maybe in San Antonio.
I don't know. I was with Matt.
Okay.
We were somewhere. And I had a few little chips with it on, and I was like, that's pretty good. But
I do not like sugar.
It does not compare to
on my dips. Do not do that. I don't want that. It also has, I think, vinegar in it.
Yeah.
But it just has some different things. This dip here, folks,
is corn.
This is white corn. Okay?
Yes.
White corn.
Black beans.
Green peppers, red onion,
tomato,
Roma tomatoes, and then all the delicious spices.
Oh, I smell it.
A copious amount of lime juice, hence lime juice, pine straw. A copious amount of lime juice, cumin, red pepper, serrano pepper, cilantro. Okay, that's for you, Elizabeth. And then salt. And this is salty. This is salty and tangy with that lime juice.
No one makes this like she does.
This is the best that you will ever have. And I'm telling you, don't you dare put avocado in it. Don't you dare. You ever do that and you post it?
Let's talk about...
I'm unfriending you.
Let's talk about avocado real quick.
Let's go.
I think I've had it on my list for a while.
Let's go.
I understand that some people love it. I understand the health benefits and all of the things. But I don't like avocado as much as people are putting out there into the world.
You don't?
Do
you like guacamole?
I do like guacamole. I love Gigi's guacamole. It's really, really good because she makes it very authentic.
Okay.
But the people pounding avocado toast, for example.
It's not the end all be all for you.
It's too creamy, like a bland cream. Even if you're putting that everything bagel topping on it.
Which I am.
I know that you are. Mm-hmm. I'm just never like, man, this thing would taste better if only it had an avocado on it. It's not for me.
I get that.
I'm not replacing my mayonnaise with avocado.
No.
I'm not replacing my cheese with avocado.
No.
So stop trying to make me do that. I'm not going to do it.
Avocado had its like surge.
It did.
And then it was quickly replaced by cottage cheese.
Ooh.
And now everything is cottage cheese.
But I do love cottage cheese.
I love cottage cheese too.
Some people really hate it.
Some people do really hate it. I think it's a texture thing, and I get it.
I love cottage cheese. Well, cauliflower too. Cauliflower has had its moment.
Cauliflower had its moment.
Cauliflower crust.
Yep.
Cauliflower rice.
Yep.
I love the meme that's like, did anyone ask cauliflower if it wanted to be all these things?
I know. Poor cauliflower was just chilling. It was like, every once in a while I'm on a crudité platter. It's fine. And then now I'm everywhere.
It's everywhere.
I have to produce.
But you're right. It's cottage cheese now because people can use it to make like an Alfredo sauce. You can crisp it up in the oven.
You can crisp it up.
I want to try that.
I do too. I want to try that. I saw it. It was the girl you follow with skincare.
I love that girl.
I know you love that.
I don't know her name, but I love her.
I know.
She is a cottage cheese stan.
I'm starting to get all of your skincare people because we're just together.
I know.
They think I want to know about it.
Yes, I will.
Don't.
I'll get something on my feed that I'm like, I'm getting this because, and I'll look. It's like Miranda and CLT liked this. I'm like, okay, that's why you fed it to me.
Grammar.
Yeah,
it's probably something.
It's grammar.
Something silly grammar.
It might be like a funny Ozempic reel.
Yeah.
Any of these, like a workout something. I'm like, well, it's not me. It's not for me.
I know, but I think I've only worked out once or twice this week, and it's already Thursday. I've been very busy.
Boo-hoo.
I know.
I'm sure you've still moved your body a lot.
Yeah, I have moved my body a lot, probably. But Lily's trying to run a mile a day right now, and she's like, "Are you going to ever run one of these miles with me?" I was like, "I don't know."
You should. Have you tried
Nope.
or been running since the weight loss?
Nope.
Oh, you should really try because you're going to feel so light and free.
But she runs such a fast mile. I don't know if I can. She's running like a close to 8-minute mile.
Ooh.
I haven't done that since I was anorexic in college.
Oh.
Trying to run that, at Appalachian. Let's talk about it. Let's go. So at Appalachian, it's true, when you make the cheerleading team, so it's so smart, and I don't mean smart in a complimentary way.
Ooh.
It's like smart.
Oh, that's real smart.
That basically you try out for the cheerleading team in April.
Okay.
And then if you make it, you have to come back in the fall and keep your spot. So what that means is you might be a cute, fit, girly, flexible, high jumps, tumbling, and everything in April because the seasons have just ended and you're still good to go.
But you've got all summer.
Then you've got all summer. And what do a lot of people do over the summer? They hang out with their friends. They
lounge.
party. They lounge. They go on vacation.
Yes.
They eat a little bit more, right?
Yes.
And so they were very smart by saying, when you come back, in order to keep your spot, you have to be able to run a 7-minute mile, do a certain amount of push-ups on your toes, certain amount of sit-ups, certain amount of stretching, like those sorts of things.
To keep your spot. So it's not like a retryout, but it's just we're going to put you through this physical test.
We're going to put you through this physical test, weigh you, and...
Not weigh you.
Oh, yeah, girl. I was weighed in college for cheerleading.
Oh, no, that's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't like that at all.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And it was under the well, we're all in the gym anyway.
No. I bet, nobody's getting away with that now. There's no way. There's no way that people are getting away with that now.
I don't know in college, but certainly on DCC they were doing that and stuff. Professional teams, absolutely.
Well, you are right about that.
Because you're signing a contract.
Yeah.
But also, like, I signed a code of conduct. I'm going to tell y'all everything about it now. Okay?
Tell us. We want to know.
I'm going to tell you everything. I don't know if there's like a statute of limitations. So if people are going to say you should sue them, I'm not going to.
No, it's been 20
years. And so essentially, you have to come back. So you have to be able to run a 7-minute mile, which means you have to train all summer long to do that, because a 7-minute mile is hard, y'all. Like that's very fast. And maybe not for my husband, but it is very fast for the average person. And so I had to run every day, and I had to get down to that 7-minute mile, and it damn near killed me. So you have to run so much more just to be able to get to a 7-minute mile.
Oh my gosh.
So I was just running and running and running and working out constantly and just like getting as thin as possible so I could run this 7-minute mile. So I was very sick that summer. And then came back, was able to do it. I think I like threw up immediately at the end of it because it was so hard for me.
I bet you were good on your push-ups.
But I am. And now I'm doing all my push-ups on my toes.
You are? I can't. I can't do one on my toes.
I can do all of them now on my toes.
How many are you doing?
Probably 60 a class.
Oh,
yeah.
On your toes?
On my toes. I could do it right here.
I'm shocked.
Should we do it for the YouTube?
How are you going to show that?
Turn the camera.
All right, stand by.
Or can I do it across the chairs? No. Okay. Here.
Okay, YouTube, this is special just for y'all.
Yeah. Okay. Joe, you're welcome.
Joe. Okay.
Can we tilt it?
That's right. Yep.
Let's see. Okay. If there's enough room. My gosh. Can you get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Look at
keep
you.
going. I can do them on my toes. It's so exciting.
I can't.
Yeah. And sometimes they're all different kinds. You got to do your triceps. You got to do all the things. But yeah, I can now do it on my toes. I tried it a couple months ago and I was shooketh. So I've been working up to it.
Because the muscles are there.
Yeah, because the muscles are under all the skin. They are there.
The muscles are in there.
Yeah. So sorry, people, on that. You couldn't see it. Anyway, so that was that story about Appalachian. And then
You had a code of conduct, you said.
yes. And so obviously code of conduct, that makes sense. Like things that you can do in your uniform, not do all that because you're representing the university as an athlete. Okay.
Okay, that
I get
makes
that.
sense. Sure,
Totally. But also in there, I guess, was a clause about like keeping your weight around what it was when you started. And so once I made the team, once I kept my spot after the 7-minute mile and everything, then I just thought I have to maintain this. But I was very sick of being anorexic. I was sick of not eating. So that's when I was like, I'll just be bulimic. Like then at least I can eat and I'll just throw up. So sorry, we'll put a little trigger thing about this, about eating disorders. But, and so the problem when you're bulimic is you actually don't get up everything that you take down. And so you oftentimes like 65% bulimics are actually overweight because you can't purge as much as you binge.
As much as you, okay, because it's a binging.
Yeah.
And then, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And so I did end up gaining weight. And then that's why I was kicked off the squad, was because they tried to say it was for my health and my benefit. And yes, sure, some of that probably was. But it also was because I had gained weight and had not kept what I had signed.
This is wild.
Yeah. So that's
I don't think that those policies are in place anymore. I just don't think that they are, because now we live in a time where everything can be put on blast. It can be put on a Twitter, it can be put on wherever, any social media. And whether that's a sorority circling your fat or a cheerleading squad, whatever it is, people can now really be called out. And I think there's good to that and maybe a little bad too. Like we've talked about our love-hate with the internet.
Yeah.
So in some ways, I am glad that it's like people can't get away with things that were so harmful.
Yes, and this is not how it should have gone down. The way that it was all handled with me, I felt like did not go down the correct way.
Yeah.
Like with the coach, just saying like you're instantly off the squad, you broke the policy, and I'm thinking, what policy did I break? Like it's not illegal to have an eating disorder while being a collegiate cheerleader, or else half these squads, like, come on.
Right, let's be honest.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't think it's that. I don't think it said if you have an eating disorder, you have to get help and go into your treatment, and thus you cannot fulfill your duties as a cheerleader. I think it was
that you had gotten bigger.
That I had gotten bigger. And I do understand that was harder on my stunt partner. I love you so much, Hank. Thank you for throwing me in the air and still holding me up no matter what. I still adore him. He's still a friend to this day.
And that's a good receipt, because I can think of that picture of him holding you up.
Oh, yeah. Hank held me up through the probably 15-pound fluctuation, and he never once complained about it. So I love you, Hank. You know that. And now I probably weigh less than that. And so now I really want to stunt with Hank again. And he can still stunt. He's still fit AF.
Really?
He does CrossFit.
Of course.
He's so fit. And Hank, I see you. And he has long hair too.
Where is Hank?
Hank is here in North Carolina, just not in Charlotte.
You think you could throw like a back handspring and jump into his hands?
I could a standing back handspring, probably not. A round of back handspring, obviously, you've seen me do that.
Yes.
But we could still stunt. He could still toss me.
He could still just like hold your waist and then throw you up.
Toss to hands. We could still toss to hands. We could still do a heel stretch. We could still do arabesque. I could fall down out of it tomorrow. I could do it. Hank, let's try to make this happen.
I really want to see this.
I want you to meet Hank too.
I want to meet Hank.
Yeah. So I'll try to make this happen. Got a little serious there for a second, but y'all just know this. Like, I have come so far.
Yes, you have.
I have come so far with my EDs. I am very open about them. I talk about them because that's how I take my power back from having them. I've had EDs since about 8th grade. And then the treatment in college was my final, like, in my final treatment, I would say, with like professionals.
Yeah.
As far as my EDs were concerned, met Joshua in the middle of all of this.
That's
I think
right.
I've already told y'all that like he was a big like catalyst for me kind of shaking my brain out of this cycle that I had.
Because he just so unconditionally loved you and was attracted to you.
He thought I was so beautiful.
Yes. Like he just, to hear some, like him talk about when you guys met and like even some of the like insecurities that you shared with him.
Yes.
And then he'd be like, you're crazy.
You're crazy. Like this is,
it's
what
amazing what unconditional love can do for people.
Yes.
I mean, it can do for pets.
Yeah.
Can do for anybody. Sometimes you just need that person to come along and be like, no matter what, I've got you.
Yes.
And I adore you.
And I've very much felt that. And no pressure, Joshua.
No, but I
Keep me alive, babe.
I know that he still is that way with you. He's obsessed with you.
And he was that way throughout all of my weight gain, too.
Yeah.
Like, over these last 20 years.
He has been so into you this whole time.
He really has never wavered on that.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And he's never been even like, if I finally was like, okay, I'm going to try this. He's like, okay, good luck.
Oh.
But he would never say to me ever like, hey, babe, do you feel like things have gotten a little bit?
No,
like
he's never said that.
Never say that to me. He's never said one thing negative about my body.
The train
The
agrees.
train agrees. The dude abides, or whatever they say in Lebowski. I've never actually seen it. But yeah, so everything, I've been good. And I have had some people kind of come for me, like, saying, since we're talking about this anyway, but, say, how dare a professional prescribe someone with a history of eating disorders this medication that helps you lose weight? And all I can say to that, me personally, is that an eating disorder is so much more than mental than it is the physical. It just comes out in the physical, right? It's like you feel like something in your life is out of control. Well, I can control my body. I can control what goes into my mouth, and I can control how much I work out, and I can control how skinny I get. So I'll just control that, since this other part of my life feels very much out of control. So this is what I'll do. And that's a lot of times why people disorder. It's a mental thing. Yeah. You just see it through the physical, right? I still, to this day, kind of struggle to figure out what was it? But, and that's for a totally different time and probably not on this podcast, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Sure. Because there's
it's just like, there's just so much.
Yeah.
Like, you can go back through your whole life and be like, why?
Yes.
And ultimately, like, that's just how I chose to manifest it, right?
Yes.
And so I've come a long way since then, obviously, but the food noise freedom that this peptide gives me,
I think more than anything, it's that for you.
It's
the food noise.
It is. It's just not the constant thinking about
the next meal.
And then you ate before you should have, and then the shame and the guilt and all these emotions that went into food, which is such a catch-22, because you have to eat to stay alive.
That's right.
But then it's also what is killing you slowly, right? And so it's just like, it's so hard in my brain to wrap around all of that noise. And so this medication just quieted that noise and has done so much more for my EDs than anything I have ever tried in my whole entire life. This medication has finally been like, you don't have to think about it today.
Stop thinking about it.
You don't have to think about it today. You don't have to think about it all day, every single freaking day of your waking moments. So that has helped my disorder so much, and we will see after this what happens. And I loved what Claudia Sherry said with the toast.
Yeah.
Because she was on it.
Oh, yeah, you shared a reel from her.
I shared it.
I saw that.
And they can be sometimes hard for me to listen to.
It can sometimes be hard. Now, I like the come up.
Yeah.
And I would love to follow
Same.
their trajectory.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if y'all want
to want to tell us what's going on,
if y'all want to get us on the toast level, I would be so appreciative.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But sometimes, I mean, they'll start going and, but maybe that's what people feel like about us.
Probably. That's why I don't know how any of y'all listen to us on a time and a half or 2 times.
Yeah, I really don't know how.
I really don't know
how. But okay, to each their own. But she was saying, everybody's biggest thing when I was on it is like, well, what about after? Well, what about after? And she said, I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I've been. I'll figure it out. And so then she's been off of it for 5 months and she
looks great.
She hasn't gained any weight. Like she feels really good about herself. And she's like, it feels so good that this was the thing I could never fix, never conquer, never figure out. And then people thought I took the easy way out and they thought I'd just become a big fat fatty again afterwards and point and laugh at me from afar, or not even from afar, probably to her face.
Yeah.
And then look, she's done it. And she's just like, it feels so good. I can't wait for that. That's when I will truly feel like I have finally conquered.
You've conquered
my
it.
ED.
Yes.
That's when I will. It's not all these years of not disordering. It's the after this, like how does my brain react and how do I react to it? And like that's when I will feel like I have done it. Like, thank God. So we'll see. And I still know people are rooting against me. And I'm like, how do you root against somebody for that?
No.
But whatever. Again, to each their own.
I think you have made the necessary lifestyle changes that have made you like,
look how much water I've drank. So,
we've
got this Fiji.
2 ounces of water already in the last 2 hours. But I think that you have made the changes that, and what's the phrase where it's like, and I disagree with the phrase, but they're like, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels.
It was Kate Moss. Kate Moss famously said, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels.
And I disagree with that because there's things that taste so good to me. And actually, a lot of it are things that she cooks for me.
Absolutely.
The biscuits and gravy, this dip right here.
This dip is healthy.
the chicken and dumplings. Like, she has made me many things that taste better than skinny.
Absolutely.
But I think there is something to be said for you just feeling so good that you don't want to lose that anymore. You're working out. You've got the stamina. You feel light. You don't want
just
to
hopping
go back.
up. Just like kind of like being able to like spring up off the ground.
Yes.
Like,
and
I know we roll over.
I know we laughed about the thigh gap and like that. No, that's not the goal. But like, does it feel good to just like in the summertime heat
be able to
like
wear shorts?
Like does that feel good to someone? Yeah, I think we can objectively say that it does.
I think we can objectively say that a rash from chub rub doesn't feel good. I think we're allowed to say that. No amount of body positivity needs to negate that.
It's so
People
true.
need to be able, it's the and both. We talk about this all the time. You can say, I obviously don't want to disorder and I want to be getting enough calories to survive.
Yes.
And I also don't want a chub rub chafing rash in my inner thighs up to my labia. Like, I'm allowed to say that. Like, we are allowed to be and both. And again, like, just because it's looked easy, like, no part of this has been, I would say, easy for me. I would say that it has been the most successful. It has been the most successful. And I think that people sometimes confuse results with ease.
Yeah. And I think for you, because it's been quick, right? It's been like a year.
It's been a year.
So it to many people, especially if they're not close to the situation, it's coming across as like, oh my gosh, 70 plus pounds in a year. That's so quick. It must have been easy.
Exactly. But I think it's just been successful.
Yeah.
But ease is not a word I would use as the one going through it.
Yeah.
It did not feel that way. And it did not feel quick to me. But that's because, again, I'm in it daily.
Yeah.
Like,
you're the closest to it.
Yeah. I'm the closest to it.
Yeah.
So no, neither of it felt quick or easy to me, but it did feel like the most successful because the results were so obvious. And I was talking to a friend in the DMs about this.
Yes.
And so I've been trying to figure, actually, and I was talking to your sister about it.
I was going to say, my sister was messaging you about it.
She was messaging me about it because she was like, I just don't understand why people are so pressed about this.
Yeah.
And I was trying to like also let her know like this person, that my response to this wasn't actually oppressing. It was someone like
being honest,
being very honest and real. And it was amazing. But people are pressed about it. And I think it goes so much deeper. And this is what I've landed on, because I was telling Lauren, like, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I think I have a good idea. And I think that it's this. I think that people, whether they're listening to this podcast or following me in general, okay, or just I think women in their 40s.
Yes.
All right. I think that this rise in the semaglutide is hitting women around the same age.
Yeah.
And it's women who finally said, I'm going to do what I want because I finally can, whether I can afford it.
Yes.
I have the gumption to do it.
Yes.
I've hit 40 and I don't give an F anymore.
I'm not having babies anymore.
I'm not having babies anymore.
Yep.
I don't care about judgment.
Yeah.
I think there's a combination of that.
Yep.
But if you look at also that same age group of women, these are all women who were raised in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And what was the culture shoved down our throats every second of every day?
Diet culture.
Diet culture on magazines.
Yep.
We had the rise of the supermodels.
Yep.
We had the rise of heroin chic.
Oh, it was just eat yogurt for lunch.
Yep.
It was the Yoplait commercial. That
Yep.
when I think of diet culture for our generation, we grew up watching commercials. Do you remember this one? Where the woman's at work
And
and she goes into the fridge and there's like a key lime pie or something.
Yep.
There's some delicious looking pie and you see her face and she's in her head thinking, they're giving the audio of what's going on in her head, which is like, oh, that looks so delicious. Oh, I really want some of that. And then the skinny coworker comes up and grabs a little Yoplait,
the key lime pie flavor.
a key lime pie Yoplait, and is like, oh, girl, just eat this. Look how thin I am. And the girl's like, wow, she's so smart. And she eats a key lime Yoplait too. And that's how we're all supposed to stay skinny, is to just eat
One
weird
little 8-ounce key lime pie.
key lime pie
flavored
yogurt
Yoplait.
with like a weird sugar substitute. That is what's going to keep us healthy.
We were raised on Slim Fast.
Yep.
We were raised on
Weight Watchers.
Nutrisystem. And then the people coming out with Suzanne Summers with the thigh machine. And
The thigh machine. The thigh master.
The George Foreman, so that we could just eat no carbs and we could just grill everything and all the meats. And so we, from our earliest ages, we were raised with diet culture.
Yes.
Right? And so we heard, and I'm sure every generation can say something to this, but I'm telling y'all, the rise of the supermodel.
Yep.
The supermodel.
And when you started naming those magazines, right?
17 magazine.
17 Cosmo Junior.
And
all
you
of
had
those.
all of that, right? And that's all we had. And we would just pour through it. And every single headline was, diets you should try this summer, how to get your swimsuit body, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So if you're around our age, okay, then you were raised on this. And so we have all these women who have been dieting their entire lives.
Yeah. Whether we realized it or not.
Whether you realize it or not.
Yep.
A lot of us have been dieting our entire lives.
Thinking about everything we put in our mouth.
Food every single hour of every single day, and calories and this and carbs and blah, 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 right? So we were all earliest memories raised that way.
Yeah.
And then after that, what happened to our generation? Again, if you're all in our same age group, then you were like, we are women, hear us roar. We can say what we want to say and we can do what we want to do.
Yeah.
Women support women. Women.
Girl boss.
Yep.
Yep.
And so then we were like, oh, okay, then I guess we can do that.
Yeah.
I guess we can just like kind of do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And now we have some disposable income to do that. And now here comes this peptide, right?
Yeah.
Approved for weight loss in 2021. And all these same women who have been raised on diet culture and who have finally been told you can do what you want and women are going to support you in that.
Ooh.
And you have this perfect storm.
It's a perfect storm.
Right? So I viewed it as like, well, this is a perfect way of like everybody like figuring it out. No.
No.
It's a perfect storm. And so then I start taking it. Women like me start taking it. And then all those other women who were raised in that same culture and who have been thinking about food their whole lives and who have been thinking about dieting every second from they wake up till they go to bed.
Correct.
Are all now going, why not me?
Yeah.
Why can't I do this?
Yeah.
And what I would say to them is, you can. If that's what you desire and if you have the disposable income to do so, because I know it's not cheap.
No.
I know that. And so that is a hang up for a lot of people, the money, and I get that. And there is nothing I can do about that. I do not own the insurance companies.
You don't?
Yeah, believe it or not, you guys, it's weird. I know I give like rich girly like every single second of this podcast.
You're giving Pfizer.
Yeah, but I really don't own who makes these medications, and neither does my daddy.
What a goofus.
I know. I'm such a goofy goofus. So I have no control over that. So I understand that that is a hang up, and that is very hard because it feels like, okay, certain people are allowed to get this, but then the other people aren't. And I get that. But if that's the only hang up, for me, I feel like that's kind of the only one that's still even like, yeah, you can say that. That's true.
Yeah, because it's feeling like, okay, maybe it's not accessible for everyone while they look around and see people shrink.
I get that.
Yeah.
I totally get that. But like, I could have said the same thing about people who went and got surgery.
Yeah.
Well, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford to go get that.
That's true.
Gosh, I would love to have a flat stomach. I'd love all this skin to be just lopped off.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't have the disposable income to do that. I could have said that to people with private chefs. Man, that must be really nice. I bet I could lose weight if like I had someone who made me meals, or even if it weren't a private chef, even if it was
personal trainer.
Or even it was just getting the meal sent to you,
Yeah.
right? Oh, well, I would love to be able to afford Factor meals, but that's not on my thing. So I bet it would be easier if it were. You have a personal trainer. Gosh, if only I could afford a personal.
That's right.
So there's always been money barriers.
Yeah.
There's always been, and I could have always been the girl who said that.
Yeah.
And instead I was like, good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. Good for them. Good for them. And then here comes along this medication. And yes, I understand. So let's take the price out of it just for a second. Every other reason that somebody could say, like, that's a you thing.
Yeah.
That's not a me thing.
Yeah.
And
and that's what that DM was saying to Miranda was like, hey, I've done some self-examination.
Yeah. Takes a big person to say this.
Yeah.
Too.
To figure out why I'm feeling
judgmental about it.
Judgmental about people taking this medicine. And she said, I realize it's just my own body issues and I'm projecting it onto people when really I should just be happy for them that they're getting to a healthy place.
Yeah, she's like, it's my own insecurities.
Yeah.
And she had even said, like, in her stories that I had ended up watching, she was like, I've never been overweight. But it's always been in my head.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you've never been overweight.
And I think my sister was saying that to you, that like we kind of grew up knowing that like it's good to be thin. Mm-hmm. It's good to be thin. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people did because
of the culture. This is what I mean. It goes back to the Oprah episode with her wheeling out her fat.
Yeah,
this is what has been in our brains.
In our brains, we like heroin chic is literally seared in my brain.
Yes.
And so I just think that it's this combination of women raised so much in that culture, then being told that they can do anything and women will support women through it all. Like that's what we're here for now. And so you finally feel like you're in a comfortable place where I can do something for myself and for my body. And then people are like, but not that.
But not that.
But not that.
Because it's too visible.
It's too, and that's what
you were saying in that DM is like, yes, people can take Lexapro for their brain to get happy again, or all these other medications that are doing something on the inside. But when it's the outside physical changes, that is what people are upset about.
Because it holds up a mirror in front of the other person, right?
Just so like people are going to judge if someone gets like a giant boob job, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
There's the boobies, and someone maybe with the flat chest might feel insecure, and then they're going to feel judgmental, and that's going to come out.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, what I was saying to the DM was like, you know, we have been told to, if you lack serotonin, get an SSRI. If you lack focus, get ADHD meds. If you lack sleep, you can get on Ambien. If you lack a frozen face, get Botox.
That's right.
It all these things that your body isn't producing enough of. Not enough elasticity. That's okay. We can put something in there.
Yeah.
And that's always been like, okay, yes, modern medicine. Like, please help yourself. Do that. Like, we want women to be feeling as good as humanly possible. We don't want you to be anxious or depressed or whatever. So go get that. And so it's like, okay, so your body was struggling to make enough serotonin. So you went and got some medication so it would help you make that so that you could be a better version of yourself, happier, whatever. And so we love that, but we can't see that.
Yeah.
We can't see it. So now GLP-1, my peptide that all of our bodies make, is like dormant, like hanging out somewhere, but clearly not doing anything in my body or my brain to help it. So I'm going to take more GLP-1 and that's going to help me.
Yeah.
but mine was visible.
Yeah.
Mine was able to be seen. And so it was harder for people because it was so obvious. Whereas I'm like, but wait, I know that you take a medication every day to help your body produce something it's not producing enough of, but I can't see it.
Yeah.
So it's not the same. So yes, dig deep into that. Dig deep into why that bothers you so much. But what I ultimately think it is a ton of it is not even our fault. It's just the messaging we've been fed forever.
Yes.
And
since we were probably like 10,
Yeah.
we've been absorbing
Yeah.
the almond mom culture.
Yeah.
And whether those parents like or meant to expose us to these things, like with the magazines or the TV shows or the commercials, whatever, like I don't think it was necessarily intentional.
No.
In some families, maybe. But in most of it, it was the times.
My mom was not an almond mom. So my mom was not. I mean, I watched my mom house potato chips like it was her job.
Yes, I love that,
Mary. She's eating a bag of Ruffles and French onion dip the second she walks in from the store.
I love that.
And it's her nighttime snack too. I mean, my mom she loves chips. And my mom has never been overweight.
No.
But she has never been like, oh, what are you eating? Oh, what are you? Never talked about it.
That's
will
good.
say about my mom, my food stuff did not really come, I don't think, from my parents, like when it comes to commenting on food or even bodies. They would be like, oh, you're so strong. I was a gymnast. I was very muscular and I was very strong and I could beat my brother up, which I thought was really important in my house. Important. And so there was some of that, but like there was really, it wasn't about like what I'm exactly eating or working out or anything like that. I did not have an almond mom in that sense.
That's good.
Did you?
No, I wouldn't say either of my parents were that way. And I think a lot of the reason is because we were just, all of us were very naturally thin.
Yeah,
people.
true. Y'all were all naturally thin.
And so, I mean, I can think of like snacks I would make myself, which was like a piece of white bread smothered in like butter, peanut butter, honey, sugar, and cinnamon. And I would crunch it, and the sugar would crunch into my mouth, and it was the best snack. And no one was saying anything to me about this. And I think it was just because it's like,
you were always so skinny.
oh, we're so thin.
Yeah.
And so I think.
But you knew your mom always looked beautiful. You knew that she always focused on beauty.
Yes, my mom. Right? Well, it's funny that we are talking about this because I had written something down. And at first it was like a giggly thing where I was like, oh my gosh, I realized what impacted me so much with like who I am today. But the more I've been thinking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh.
What is it? What is it? And does Pam know?
It's a Disney movie.
Oh, okay. Maybe it doesn't have to do it. Okay.
No, it has nothing to do with my parents.
Okay.
It's a movie. The Little Mermaid.
Okay. I've never seen The Little Mermaid.
No.
I know.
Okay, well,
I know the premise.
We got to watch it because I would like for us to do a little breakdown where I can really dig into this more.
Okay. I
think this would make a great Patreon. But here's what I will say, okay? What I've realized is that have I been chasing the high that I felt as a child watching Ariel do her thing and find the handsome prince and I mean, literally, y'all, I can name you 10 things from that movie that I'm like, I want to be just like that. I mean, literally, my hair is long and red.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so I'm leaning really hard into just the Ariel look.
Yeah, for sure.
But there were so many scenes.
I didn't know that it was because of Ariel.
I think I'm figuring that out. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Never before was this on my radar.
Oh.
But there was a reel or something that had popped up and just showing like some scene. And I realized like, man, I've been like kind of chasing those feelings where like she had her own cute little vanity, not only under the ocean, but above the ocean, where she was like putting on her products and brushing her hair.
Like it was important for her to have vanities under the sea and on land.
She had like skincare, makeup, wardrobe, had a full glam makeover when she came above.
That is you.
It's so me, right?
That is so you.
She falls in love with the handsome prince. Yeah. I'm like, what am I chasing? The all-American looking guy, handsome Matt. Like, he's my Disney prince. He literally looks like Hans from Frozen.
Exactly.
He literally does.
Exactly.
I hate the ocean. Why? Because the ending scene of Little Mermaid, y'all know that have seen it, that it is terrifying when Ursula is in the ocean and she's trying to zap Ariel and the ships are swirling and people are going to drown. They're going to die in the ocean. I'm realizing now, I'm like, this is why I hate the ocean. This is why I'm afraid of big waves.
Oh.
But do I like the beach? I do. Why?
Do.
Because that's where they fell in love. I am telling you, every part of this movie, I'm like, oh my gosh.
You love a shell bra.
I love
if there's one thing I know about you,
it's a shell bra.
It's a seashell bra.
Y'all, the amount that I realized, like, I've been chasing the happiness I felt watching that movie over and over and over. And I think it came out when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
And I've probably watched that movie 50 times in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm just now realizing, like, I think this, like, really impacted me more than anything.
Really?
More than anything.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think so.
Okay, then we need to watch it together because you need to watch my reactions to it.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of the Disney classics.
I mean, Ursula had her lotions and potions in her underground like little tavern thing that she had, where she was squeezing little amoebas and like putting on her lipstick with them. And I would always just be like, I want that so bad.
You want to squeeze amoebas and get their
the lipstick.
secretion.
That's
why you like snail
I like the
mucin.
snail mucin. I am telling
Same thing.
y'all.
When I was saying they're jacking off snails to get the mucin.
Something has happened that I've come to realize. So I actually wrote down in my notes that I want to watch it this weekend.
Oh,
to just
let me come over.
Yeah, I just feel like I need to, with fresh eyeballs.
Like you need like a catharsis, it sounds like.
When we go to Magic Kingdom, when I think of Magic Kingdom, what I think about is Ariel's ride.
The grotto.
When we go, it's the first thing we always do is the grotto.
I love that.
So
we've had our most magical Disney moment in that grotto.
You did?
Yeah.
What is it?
I thought that, stop me if you've heard it.
Oh, I don't know.
But when Lily was 4 and Bella was 7, that's the first time we went to Disney. And Lily had just gotten her glasses from her diagnosis.
Oh.
So she was 4 years old. Joshua taught her how to cross her eyes. The one eyeball stayed in.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why there's that wives' tale, because it means something. Yeah. Like some kids' muscles are so weak under their eyes that if they cross them, they will stay in.
And that happened.
And that happened to Lily. Joshua said, "Look, I see 2 of you." She goes, "I see 2 of you, Daddy." And then the other eyeball didn't come out. We thought it was a party trick. We thought she was joshing us, literally. Okay. And I sent her to preschool that Monday, and they were like, "What's going on with Lily's eye?" And I was like, "What do you mean? Oh, is she doing that silly crossed eye thing again?"
And they're like, "No, ma'am, it's crossed."
They're like,
and she can't see.
No, like it's crossed and it's like not coming back out. I was like, "Oh, I know. Joshua taught her how to cross her eyes." Crazy, huh? Speaking of oceans. Where's the penny whistle? Damn it! Where's the whistle?
Oh shoot! I put it somewhere.
Okay. So I'm just like, it'll figure itself out. Yeah. I'm not an alarmist when it comes to my kids' health, stuff like that. And so I think a couple weeks went by, and the preschool teachers were finally like, "Hey, Miranda, you need to take her to the doctor. We actually are uncomfortable."
We're uncomfortable. She can't see.
Yeah, she's like running into things. She's just walking in circles. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
So they said, I really think you should take her to the eye doctor. I take her to the eye doctor, and they're like, "Oh, so she has esotropia, which is a weakened eye muscle, and it means that the eye is going to roll in." And then we also tested her sight, and she's extremely farsighted. So, like, her prescription's pretty severe.
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh my gosh, well, that's crazy. Joshua just taught her how to cross her eyes, so I thought that that's what happened." And they're like, "Yeah, that is
it's part of it.
Is don't cross your eyes. They make it stuck that way because kids' eyes get stuck that way. Their muscle's so weak that it can't pull it back out." And they said, "Has she struggled to like read or have interest in books?" I'm like, "Well, now that you say it, yeah." It is always kind of a struggle to get her to sit down and look at books. They're like, "It's because she's farsighted. She can't see up close. She literally is trying to roll her eyeballs into zoom in a way."
Oh, and it's just a big blur.
So I said, "Okay, well, what do we do about that?" They said, "Well, we need to fix the prescription with the farsightedness, and then we also need to put her in bifocals for the esotropia. And so Lily literally got bifocals at the age of 4 years old. And she's always had kind of these thicker, more serious glasses.
Yes.
To help
and that's
her see.
Tinsley. She's got thicker, but she's nearsighted. So everything far away is very much a blur. It's twice as blurry as me. Her prescription is twice as hard as mine is. And
wow.
so when I look out into the world and it's a blur, I'm like, ooh, Tinsley.
Poor thing.
So it's thick.
It is.
Yeah.
And so she was the only one, I think, even in her preschool class, well, definitely the only one who had bifocals in the school, but one of the few who even had glasses. And she was getting used to them. Yeah. You know, but she actually ended up really loving them because she could finally see. You guys, I think I've told this story when like on the way home with the glasses. She goes, is that what leaves look like?
The leaves on the trees.
She did not know. She just thought it was when you old school draw your trees and it's just a green ball and you kind of go, ooh, 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 ooh.
You're a terrible mother.
Terrible, y'all. Terrible. Terrible. I was telling Gabe about it this morning on the way here. Anyway, y'all, when she saw a leaf for the first time and she actually realized that that's what was falling off the trees instead of just being on the ground. Oh, my God.
You knew it was going to be a whole new world.
A whole new world.
Aladdin.
Hey, Aladdin. So.
Part of your world, Ariel.
So she, not a whole new, but a part of. So she's wearing these glasses. They're very brand new to her. She's already kind of feeling like these make me different, but that's okay. I know different's okay, Mom. But still, like I'm the only one with these glasses, blah, blah, blah. We go down to Disney very shortly thereafter. We go to Magic Kingdom. We're waiting in line to meet Ariel.
Oh.
Okay. We're so excited about this. Even though I've not seen the movie, I'm very excited about it as well.
Yeah.
And we walk up. They toddle up. Little Bella and Lily walk up to Ariel, and Ariel goes, oh my goodness, princess. You have goggles. You get to wear goggles above the ocean all the time. I swear to y'all. It's as if Ariel had been tipped off to like, this is something my kid is new to, and she might be feeling a little bit like an outsider because of them.
Yes.
And like, she had no clue. And she might say this line to all the kids with glasses, but I'm telling you what, it meant a lot to this mom.
Yes.
That Ariel fawned over her. This thing that maybe made her a little bit different is the thing that Ariel noticed first.
And loved.
Yes. And she's like, oh my gosh, I don't get to wear goggles on land. I'm so jealous that you get to. And was just like so over the top.
Was Lily just eating it up?
She was beaming. Her smile was here to here. She's just like, yeah,
my God.
I get to wear glasses. I get to wear glasses all the days. And yeah, they're purple. They're purple like you. And like, you know,
her bra.
And so Lily's first glasses were purple and teal, just like the
like Ariel's colors.
Oh God, y'all. I was a wreck. I was sobbing. Jamie was like holding me up. My sister-in-law was like, she's like, and this is the magic. I mean, Jamie was crying too. She's like, and this is the magic of Disney. I've been wanting you guys to experience with us all this time. And I'm like, I get it now, Jamie. I get it now. Oh God.
But it's true. And these castmates are so trained that they know how to make a kid feel so good.
Oh man, Lily walked taller.
Walked tall.
She was already a girl who was sauntering everywhere because she's swinging those arms and she's feeling confident and cool. But I tell you what, she walked taller. She could have made it onto Avatar that day.
She grew 2 inches.
If it existed, which it didn't at the time, but if it did, I tell you what, she would have gotten on no problem.
She didn't need the risers.
She didn't need the heels.
All I needed was for Tristan to go meet Ariel, get complimented, grow 2 inches, and then we would have walked right on.
And now you know that's why you always start with Magic Kingdom, you guy, before Animal Kingdom. How many times do we have to say it?
It's the truth. You have to start with Magic Kingdom. And for me, that also begins with Ariel.
And we're going to watch it.
And I'm going to dig in more to what does it all mean? What does it mean?
What does it mean?
And I do feel like,
what does it mean? What does it mean? When you want to say no. What is the Justin Bieber? What does it mean? What do you mean? Not it. That would make a really good mashup.
Let's text DJ James Kennedy about it.
He liked our story.
He did.
I tagged him in a story a couple days ago when I was so excited about something being said. It wasn't the thing that you posted, which I love that too.
Yes.
But it was something a couple days before that. And I was like, we are so happy for the night. Oh, it's when Diplo.
Yes.
When
yes.
Diplo was like, he just crushed his set, and you know how much that meant to James.
Oh,
Diplo
James was like, Diplo knows my name.
Oh my god! It was so I shared it, and I was like, we are so happy for the #1 guy in the group, and I tagged him, and he liked it.
Oh, yay!
I hope he knows.
I hope he knows that we've been writing for him for a long time.
Really long time.
James, if you hear this, we are so proud of you. You are the #1 guy in the group, and you do more than just push buttons on a laptop. You are out here entertaining. I watched several of his posts on his feed, and I was like, he's not just pushing buttons, y'all. No. He is out here mixing, jumping, dancing.
The lights are perfectly coordinated and synced with it. So when the beat drops, it goes boom. Like there's a whole production to that. I know that I dated a DJ in college.
So you know.
And he was called DJ Press Play.
Woo!
And so it was a lot of just press play. But DJ James Kennedy is different than that. And as someone who like knows DJs so intimately and well, not really intimately, not really. You already know that.
We know the story.
We know the stories. I don't even know how many balls he has. I don't.
And if you haven't subscribed to Patreon Tier 2, you don't know this story about the balls.
That's
so
right,
know that.
Right. So yes, what we're going to go back to is we're going to get off balls.
Yeah.
And we're going to go back to the fact that you and I are going to watch The Little Mermaid, and we are going to cover that in Tier 1 Patreon. Our feelings, we're going to dig deeper in for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you know what I think of the movie because I've never seen it. And
I do, because it's a story of rebellion. It's a story of family. It's a story of true love. It's a story of making difficult choices.
Okay.
And I do feel in some ways that the TV raised me.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like show watching and movie watching. And I think I found like happiness there a lot. And
still do.
Yeah, and we still do.
Still do.
And so, I think that this was a movie because it was just right at that age for me that I just watched over and over and over again. And I'm realizing like so much more of this seeped into me than I knew. Mm-hmm. But now I know.
Now you know.
And so maybe I can go back, and if I watch it, maybe I'll be a better mother, a better wife.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it's something that I need to really think about.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be there to help you cycle through it. I do think it would make a great Patreon episode.
It absolutely will.
And we will do that, I guess, to be continued for y'all.
All right. Goofus-n-Goofus out.
In. Goofus-n-Goofus.
Goofus-n-Goofus.